saying, honey, that's the way it's done. We don't have to search for love, bring our hands and bring our hearts. All we have to do is know love will find us in the dark, and the things that saved us are still here to save us. It's not out there somewhere, it's right here, it's right here. I can't change the whole world, but I can change the world I know, what's within 3 feet or so. We're body, skin, and bones. We're all the love we've ever known. When I don't know what is right, I hold it up into the light. Hold it up into the light. Hold it up into the light.
Very nice.
Thanks. Isn't that nice? I really like that. Again, Carrie is an Indiana artist, so I thought that was appropriate. Since I can't invite you here to the campus, it's nice to share a little bit of Indiana with you.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully sometime soon, we'll be able to open back up for our visitors. What we would normally do on a visit day is start out with breakfast and introductions with our professors, and then go to sample classes, have a sample worship. Then we'd also have lunch together with our professors and our staff and the administration, and kind of sit around in small tables and get to know each other well. And we can't do that right now. But I would like to go around and do introductions so that we can get to know each other a little bit. We don't have a large group. Have a couple more that are trying to make it in. So again, I'm Julie Dishman, and I think I'll go around and start on my screen and then just go around quickly, and everybody introduce yourself, say where you're from, and say what your interest is in ESR. And I'm going to start with Lance.
Oh, well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lance Mervine. I live in Bucks County, just north of Philadelphia. I'm clerk of the Middletown Friends Meeting, and I also serve as treasurer of the Pennswood Village Continuing Care Retirement Center here, which is in Newtown, the town above us. So I'm interested in maybe pursuing the master's in peace and social justice. I know of Earlham for many years, just from Quaker circles. And I just happened to pick up Friends Journal on Friday and saw the ad, and I went on the website and I saw, well, this visit week is this week. So the timing seemed perfect. So I'm happy to be here today and sharing this with you.
Great, thank you, Lance. Martha.
Hi, Martha O'Hare, and I'm from Grass Valley, California. Moved here 2 years ago from Annapolis, Maryland, and I still maintain my frequent attender status. I guess it's a little more than that, but typically that's what I'm actually called, at the Annapolis Friends Meeting. So that's really my home base. There is a meeting nearby here, but it is way up in the hills. It is to me, it's a very dangerous fire area. So, but online things are working out. I've been a writer all my life. And but I've always done other things for making a living, like teaching music and teaching religion and writing curriculum and stuff like that. So I guess I've been attracted to the master's in poetics. And a couple of years back, I was ordained an interfaith minister through the Chaplaincy Institute. And Earlham's been on my radar for about 10 or 15 years. And I guess the poetics is what's attracting me, is kind of making it official. I've done a lot of writing, but I've never called myself a writer. So I think it's something I would like to explore. And this topic of spirituality and such is what I love to write about. So that's why I'm here to check it out.
Thanks, Martha. Welcome. Joan? Oop, you're on mute.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Joan Van Sickle Sloan from Maryville, Tennessee. And I am a longtime member of the Maryville Friends meeting here in Tennessee, and I am ministry and council clerk currently for Wilmington Yearly Meeting, part of FUM. So I saw that you were having the spirituality workshop this week, and I'm having some other things that I have to do this week, and it makes me sad. Ordinarily, I don't have nearly as much going on, but I do this week, so I'm going to be in and out. But I wanted to attend this session just because I'm interested in knowing more about ESR. Our pastor is Jonathan Goff, and he is a graduate of ESR. And I've been to Quaker Hill, and I've been to I've just been briefly on the campus at ESR. I'd love to have a tour. If we can do a virtual tour, I'd love that. Just to be more familiar with the campus layout.
Sure.
I have been a professional public relations person for many years, and so I've done a lot of writing professionally and have written several books and articles, lots of articles. So, and I am recently retired. My husband is 91 and having some health issues, but one of my goals would be to write the history of East Tennessee Quakers. That's never actually been done. I'd like to write and publish that history. So that's a goal I'd like to do if I can get it done.
Thank you. I would love to read that too. Thanks. Garrett.
Hi, everyone. I'm Garrett Foster, and I am in Delray Beach, Florida, where it's nice and warm and sunny now. And sorry. I am a graduate of I was ordained as an interfaith minister by One Spirit in Manhattan, and also went through their interspiritual counseling program, and I'm now a dean of that school. At One Spirit, we had flexibility to explore. We studied most of the world's religions, but we had a chance to go off on our own, and I studied Quaker because it had such an interest to me, and that really led me to becoming a member of the Lake Worth meeting right nearby here. And I feel like I was born a writer. My professional life was spent writing for television and magazines and newspapers and editing. And my mission, I've had cancer 3 times, and my vow in life is to just spread love, and I believe I can do that through my words. So I want to learn to be a better writer, and how to touch people more with what I write. So I'm the master of theopoetics and writing.
Great, thank you. Ian.
Hi, I'm Ann Bernhardt. I live about half an hour south of Richmond. I'm a attender of West Richmond Friends meeting. I just wanted to attend this and get a little bit more information on the certificate program.
Thank you. Hi, Sam. Oop, you're on mute.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, I'm Sam Hayes. I've audited some courses in at ESR. I'm sorry. And mainly, I think because of Michael Burkle, he's the closest I've come to my mentor and advisor, Earlham Hugh Barber, who died just recently. And teach English. Went to seminary. I was a Lutheran minister for 30 years. Became a Quaker 10 years ago. And I think I'm mainly hanging around here. But I'm intrigued by the theopoetics. I don't expect I'll do all that, but I'd like to dip into it. And the spirituality formation things looked quite good to me. And for anybody that goes to West Richmond Friends, so look out the back across the alley. And I helped my father build that house in 1954 and lived in both houses right there on 7th and A. I've lived in 7 or 8 places in childhood all over Richmond, so I know the area well.
Thanks, Sam. Susie, hi, nice to see you. Well, I don't see you, but I see your name. I know you're here.
Yes, I am. Sorry, you can't see my face for now because it's it's late. We are almost like into midnight here in Nairobi, and if I put on the video, then my network will not be very good. So allow me just to speak. And yes, my name is Susie. I'm from Nairobi Early Meeting. Right now it's getting to midnight, and I couldn't wait to be part of this session. I am currently the church administrative secretary. I work for the church in Nairobi, and it's a privilege. My interest for ESR developed when I came in for an audit class. And I desire to do the master's class, the MDiv. I haven't, I'm hoping I could go into the peace area, and that is why I'm in this session, to just understand and see if that is what I'm led to do. So allow me to just listen in without the video. As I said earlier, if I put on the video, then the network will just go off.
Right.
But I thank God for making the connection with all of you. Glad to see all of you again. Thank you.
Susie was able to visit us, oh gosh, was it almost 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, and applied, and she's been accepted. So we hope to see her this fall. Really excited to have her here. Heather is the next person on the screen. Oh, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I always double mute, you know, but then I never talk. So, but anyway, I'm Heather Thiebert. I live in Asheville, Ohio, which is a rural community 40 minutes south of Columbus. I am a psychiatrist in the Columbus area. And I'm here because I've always felt called to do God's work in a spiritual and pastoral manner. And I think it's just time. So here I am.
Heather will be joining us this fall too. So yeah.
Yeah, I got accepted. So I'm doing it.
Yep. So excited. Thank you.
And I'm at work, so I'm gonna shut my video off, but I'm still here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Lonnie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm involved in several of the programs here, as most of our faculty are. So coming in 30 years ago, when I started here, we had the Master of Divinity program and the Master of Arts program. In both those areas, peace and justice studies emerged as an area of emphasis. So in the Master of Divinity program, you have that as an option, as an emphasis, as well as the other areas such as spirituality, writing program within the MDiv, and pastoral care and pastoral ministry and Quaker ministry as well. So those different emphases were kind of new as we developed them in seminary education. Most seminaries at that time, long ago, were mostly preparing people to be of service in the church, in the pulpit directly, or in other ways within the church. So Quaker's idea of everybody has a call to ministry of some sort, a universal ministry, then we tried to accommodate it there. In the Master of Arts, the regular academic MA, people do a thesis of about 100 pages as their final product. And we've had many students do that for various reasons. Some wanted to teach, say, at a Quaker boarding school or other kind of situations, or it was a research interest that would help them in their work, in social change work, nonprofit work, and so on. The new program is the Master of Arts in Spirituality and Social Transformation. That has an emphasis on practicums. So every student throughout the program is involved with some organization working on an issue that they're interested in. It's not directed by us. The students try to find a group that they can work with on that. So that program is brand new, that we're in the first year now with 8 students that come in. We have a goal of having a cohort of 10 students each year. It was intended as a cohort residential program. But of course, COVID had something to say about that. But we're working through that. So the students there, again, have a variety of interests in what they want to do and how they understand their spirituality related to their interest in social change in that way. And that's another thing I want to underline with seeing the diversity of you all here. The program is small and has lots of options, trying to have you be involved in tailoring what that program is going to look like and to make it work for you. And we are here to help that as sort of a midwife sense of that work as a teacher. So good to see you here. And if you have more questions about any of those programs that I'm specifically involved with, you can contact me and we can follow up with other questions.
Thank you, Lonnie. Yes, Martha.
Lonnie, could you just repeat the name of that new program? Is it Spirituality and Social Transformation?
It's the Master of Arts in Peace and Social Transformation.
Yes.
Yeah, peace. Yeah, he said spirituality. Yeah, peace and social transformation. We do that all the time.
Connected. We think they're connected somehow.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other questions before we move on? I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to go through a little slideshow with some information about Earlham School of Religion. And Lonnie, please jump in at any time. Same with Kristen. Please jump in if there's anything that you want to add to what I'm saying here. Okay. Can you all see that screen okay? This is a postcard that we just developed that we'll be sending to new students when people send us an interest form. We follow up within about a month or so, and it has this postcard. And I wanted to just highlight this and just give you a little introduction to this, because I think it says a lot about ESR. This here, this is Kaya, and Kaya just graduated from ESR. And Kaya had developed a yoga ministry while they were here, and was very involved in the community. And we miss Kaya very much. But Kaya is a good example of one of our younger students. In the last several years, we've had several more younger students entering. And Kaya also was very involved in theopoetics and writing, and was very involved in the it was a storytelling event that we had 4 times a year in the Richmond community. and gathered people from all different parts of the community together on a night 4 times a year to tell stories. And it was such a wonderful community building activity and a way to highlight some of the work of students and others in the community and share about their lives. This is Ben Brazel. Ben is our writing professor, and Ben is talking to one of our international students here. This is Maria Landon, who is from Mexico. And Maria is here for our Peace and Social Transformation program. Maria is also an Earlham College graduated just this last year. So again, we've been really reaching out more to the Earlham College community. And if any of you were in some of the sessions earlier, you'll see that there were some Earlham students and Earlham faculty there at that time. This picture here is of a trip to India that are several of our professors and students and alumni and friends of the institution had gone to India together. And I keep looking at all the pictures of the fronts of the faces in the groups and trying to identify who this exact person was, and I haven't been able to do that yet, so I apologize. This is the Earlham School of Religion main classroom building right here. And as you can see, these beautiful, beautiful crab apple trees that are in front. And I'm really looking forward to spring right now. And then this smiling face down here, she didn't want to introduce herself, but this is Kristen Laws, and Kristen is our events coordinator, and she is the one who put together this wonderful program. She's been really working hard to communicate with all of you. Kristen is also an Earlham College graduate. She majored in psychology, and she's been with ESR, what now, 2.5 years, I think, almost 3 years.
Yeah, almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years, and is our events coordinator and applications coordinator. And so as you apply to Earlham School of Religion, she'll be helping with processing those. And so just wanted to share that. Okay, next slide here. Whoops, it's not gonna let me. Oh, there it is. Okay, whoops, now it's gonna want to go through all of them. So let me try again here. This is our mission statement, rooted in the Quaker tradition of contemplation that inspires action. Earlham School of Religion prepares theologically diverse students for a pluralistic world. Our curriculum unites spiritual formation, academic study, social engagement, and vital creative ministry. And you might wonder what makes ESR different from other seminaries. I would say that it is a place that people who may not feel welcome at other institutions or other seminaries, they will feel welcome here. We share a campus with another Peace Church seminary, Bethany Seminary, and we have a cross-registration agreement with 4 other seminaries. So next to the stone building that looks like I'm sitting in front of, there's a brick building, that's Bethany Seminary, and we share the campus. Our students take classes there, their students take classes with us, because ESR teaches the First Testament, and they teach Second or New Testament classes. So our students take classes across the board, and then also with their theopoetics and writing courses too, many of the peace courses and other courses too. Sometimes you may not know when you're sitting in a classroom if you're sitting there with Bethany students or with Earlham or ESR students. And then we do consider ministry in a very broad and creative terms. Everyone has a ministry, or it feels called the ministry, so it's not just pulpit ministers or pastoral care, that very broad. And we've been doing distance learning for quite a while, which made it really easy for us to adjust when COVID hit. So we've had people doing fully online courses. We've had people doing the blended courses, which would be a course in real time, but on Zoom like this, and then also in the classroom. So that helped when COVID hit. We were able to adjust very quickly. And who comes to ESR? And as you can see, even just from the people here on our screen, that also all ages of people from all different backgrounds do come to ESR. We have new college grads, we have those who have been out just a little while and doing service work with like QVS, FCNL. We have established ministers here, others who just want to hone their skills in their creative ministry, people of all ages. You know, sometimes people come just to attend a few classes, or they may come to attend to earn a degree or certificates. Our current students right now range from 23 to 76 years old. We have 63 residential and distance students, although almost everyone is joining us from far right now, unfortunately. We did double our student body this last year from all different religious backgrounds. We have a Sufi, at least one Sufi right now, several Episcopalians, Catholic, Presbyterians. So just depending on the year, we may have a few more Quakers than not, but right now we're pretty balanced. And from all over the country, all over the world, we have students from Kenya, from the Congo, and from Mexico right now, last year remotely from Belize. And students attend 2-week intensives in August, January, and May, and then they attend fall and spring semesters, and in different combinations. Some people may not do all the intensives. And I'll just let you read through here some of the alumni occupations. This is not comprehensive, this is just a few. Right now we have Dean of a college. David Johns, is that right? Ferrum College. Some others. And so Lonnie had talked a little bit about our different degree programs. We have the Master of Divinity, the Master of Arts in Religion, the Master of Arts in Theopoetics and Writing, and the Master of Arts in Peace and Social Transformation. The Master of Divinity and the Master of Arts in Religion, those were the two main programs, but the Master of Arts in Theopoetics and Writing and the Master of Arts in Peace and Social Transformation have become very popular in the last year or two. And all those are based on our other programs. So for instance, the Master of Arts in Peace and Social Transformation utilizes classes from the Master of Divinity. It's not like another set of courses. So students who are in the MAPS program will be in courses with students who are in the MDiv program. And the Master of Divinity program, we have a residential program, and we have the Access or Distance program. There is a residential component even to the Access program. It boils down to you need to be here on campus for 4 courses. Those courses could be during the intensives, and then you can do blended courses for 4 other courses. I believe that's right. Is that right, Lonnie? Does that sound right?
I think that's right.
Okay. I think so. It's about that. Yeah. Master of Arts in Religion, it has a residential component. That's usually a 2 to 3 year program, where the Master of Divinity, 3 to 5 years usually. Master of Arts in Theopoetics and Writing is a 2-year program. It is our only program that you can do fully online. There is no residency requirement for that one. And that's the one that we do in conjunction with Bethany Seminary. Bethany teaches most of the Theopoetics courses, and ESR teaches most of the writing courses. And then there's the Master of Arts in Peace and Social Transformation. That's, I say it's a 1-year program. It's really more of about a 10-month program. It is designed to be residential only. That's what the plan is. We'll have to see how COVID treats us this year to see if we can do this residential. It starts in August with a 2-week intensive, and then classes in the fall semester, a class during January intensive, classes in spring semester, a class in the May intensive, and then there's a 6-week internship during the summer, and then that's it. And so it is done in sequence during that time, where the other programs can be done out of sequence. There are a few classes that have to be done in order, but those can be done out of sequence and can take a little longer time, where the MAPS one is definitely as a cohort group. Then we do have, this says 6 certificates, but we just added, I'm sorry, 6 course certificates. We just added another one too. We have Quaker Studies. We've changed the spirituality one, have broken those down. So we have spirituality, or spiritual formation. We have spiritual exploration. And then we also have the Quaker spirituality and spirituality in a multi-faith world. The spiritual formation one uses core courses from the Master of Divinity program. So you would do the spiritual form, all 3 spiritual formation courses, and you'll do the discernment of gifts and calling. And then you can take the 2 other courses, intro courses throughout the curriculum. And so once that certificate is completed, you can apply that to the Master of Divinity if you would like to go on to a degree program. So that one and the others too, those can be used as basis for the other programs too. Same with the writing one could be used as a basis for the Master of Arts in Theopoetics and Writing. So if you're not ready to devote full-time study, 2 to 3 years of full-time study, but you know that you want to take a couple classes at a time, a certificate might be a good option for you. And then we have the occasional student program that students can take up to 2 classes per semester without applying those to a degree. They can apply those later to a degree. Then we have the auditing program too. Did I miss anything on that, Lonnie?
Not that I could tell, Julie.
Okay. We do have financial support for all of these. Most of the financial support is for our residential students, but we do offer some support also for our access or distance student. We have the 2 residential international Cooper Scholars, and international scholarships cover full tuition, covers their fees, it covers housing in an ESR house and a small living stipend. There is a service component to the Cooper scholarships. 2 diversity Cooper Scholars, that's residential also, and that covers full tuition, and that does have a service component. And then we have 6 residential Cooper scholarships that cover, depending on the program that they're in. If they're in an MDiv program, it covers 2/3 of the tuition. If they're in an MA program, it covers half of the tuition. And then their final year that they can apply for another scholarship to cover the rest of their tuition. And then the Leadership and Service Scholarship is full tuition scholarship. It's for those who have served as Bonners or Quaker Fellows or in other service-oriented, as interns or volunteer for several of these organizations. And then we have Quaker Professional Scholarship is for those who are working in a Quaker organization and want to work on a degree, but want to do that as a distance student. They don't want to move here. They want to continue working for that Quaker organization. So it's kind of to help support Quaker organizations and education of their employees. That covers half of the tuition. We have a California Quaker Scholarship that provides some other assistance for some travel and for housing and for fees for those who are living in California and are members of Quaker meetings there. And then our distance students can get up to 50% need-based aid and 25% need-based aid for certificate students. But this last year and this next year, we are going to be offering up to 100% need-based aid because to help kind of with the COVID relief. And then other benefits of attending ESR, you have use of the Earlham College Library. We actually have a shared seminary librarian with Bethany Seminary and Earlham College who works at the Earlham College Library. They have a wonderful online digital, they have the Quaker digital archives, but then other online journals and other resources for our students. We have a wellness center and health services that our students can use. And the wellness center has a beautiful pool and a walking track and an energy room and all different things, and also tickets for events. So when you're an Earlham School of Religion student, you're an Earlham College student and can share in many of those resources. As I said, we have a dedicated seminary librarian and very inexpensive student health insurance through Earlham College, cross-registration agreements with the other seminaries, especially those who are interested in Unitarian Universalist studies. We have a cross-registration agreement with the Methodist, MTSO in Columbus, Ohio, and they have a UU House of Study. So our students can use that as their emphasis and take those 4 courses through that seminary and they can get advising help from their UU House of Study. We have small classes. We have distance options, alumni connections, and Richmond has a very low cost of living. So if you decide to move to Richmond, housing and the cost of living here is very low, one of the lowest in the country. That is it for my little spiel.
Just to underscore what Julie went through there, the Earlham School of Religion is small, but with the connection with Bethany and with the connection right here with Earlham College, it gives you a lot of opportunities for classes. So again, as Julie said, students at ESR can take any except for a few Bethany courses. So it's not just the courses, say, that they teach in New Testament and so on. So we have quite an exchange going on, which increases the diversity in the classroom. We're trying to increase diversity in many other ways, but you will find interesting differences between the 2 peace churches. They don't do things quite the same. So that has some interesting. And there's a range of theological views that come into ESR and Bethany, and that enriches the study here. When I was a student, even longer ago than 30 years at the School of Religion, I took a couple of courses on the Earlham College side. So that's an option for people. We have a formal arrangement that students can take up to 3 courses there with agreement of the instructors and so on. So it's a very rich academic environment, even though we're a small school. But our relations with these other schools, and as Julie said, even some other options off campus with other seminaries, gives you a lot of possibilities.
I can open it up to questions now. Yes, Garrett.
I have a question. Since we're talking about taking classes with the 2 different schools, I'm interested in the Masters in Theopoetics and Writing. If I was, depending on which one I enter through, like if I entered through Bethany, could I only take 3 of those 3 writing-related classes with Earl and then reverse, or is that a different kind of arrangement with that program?
Yeah, no, the 3 that he mentioned is actually on the Earlham College campus. As a Bethany student, I'm not sure if you can take courses on the Earlham College campus with that same cross-registration agreement. But if you're in the Theopoetics and Writing courses, you can take any of the courses at Earlham School of Religion.
Oh, okay.
And the other way around, yeah. So, yeah. I know that if you enter the Theopoetics and Writing courses through Earlham School of Religion, there are a few more benefits that you will have as an Earlham student that you will be able to access more on the Earlham College campus than if you enter through the Bethany program. They don't have access to the Wellness Center. I don't think is for the same cost or but just a few things, very few things. Other questions?
Yeah, Julie, this is Lance. A question about the Masters in Peace and Social Transformation. There's a residency. Is it? I saw you start in August for 2 weeks, and how does it go from there? Do you come back again a couple times during that year? How does that work?
Well, for the Peace and Social Transformation program, for that one specifically, the MAPS program, it's full residential. So it's supposed to be full residential. But again, this last year we had to make it residential optional. So you come for 2 weeks at the beginning of August, and then you have a break or two, about a week or two, maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks, and then the fall semester starts. That goes all the way until early December. And then you have a break until early January. And then you have the 2-week intensives. And then you have a break, about a week or two break before spring semester starts at the end of January, early February. And then you're done in early May. And then you come back for 2 weeks for the 2-week intensive in May.
I see. Okay. So for the coming year, you're talking it would be full residential for the 2021 year. Okay.
That's where we're, that's the hope. Yeah. Yeah. You know, if the COVID numbers keep reducing like they are reducing, and as long as the vaccination seems to be covering all the variations of the virus, then the plan is that we'll have fully residential for the MAPS program. If in May or June, we're seeing that things still aren't stable yet, we may have to call it and say residential optional. But our deadline for application is May 1st. So that makes it kind of tough for planning. Yeah, makes it really hard.
And then if you could talk about the admission process, I saw, is it essays? Look like there's like 5 essay questions, and also I saw 5 recommendations. If you could talk to that.
Right. Yeah. I can share the questions with you too. They are on our website, in the applications process website.
Yeah,
I can list those there so you can see those. Yeah. And then depends. People will answer those, each of the questions a little differently depending on which program they're wanting to enter. You know, they will do that. And then with the letters of recommendation, those are from all different backgrounds of, you know, depending on what your background is. You know, somebody who's in their 20s are going to be asking for a little different kinds of recommendations from former professors and things like that. So really we want people who have worked with you in some capacity, who know your work, but then also people from your faith community too. So kind of covering the bases there, people you've volunteered with, people in your meeting, you know, if you're on a board somewhere, you know, people that you've worked with in that way. And all these letters of reference, you can request those during the application process. We have an application portal that you enter all your information in, and you put your contacts information in, and they will automatically get an email from us saying that we are requesting a letter of reference because you've applied to a particular program. So, but just you would want to start identifying.
Yes, you get it directly then from the
Yes, all those. We have this new application portal this year that once we know it better, it's going to be really helpful. We're just getting to know it too. But yes, you can. It's nice because you sign up for it, you register for it, and you can go in and out of it. You don't have to sit down in one sitting and write everything and submit your essays and submit everything at once. You can keep going back into it. And then once you do submit your full application, you can keep going back into it to check on all your materials. And I will communicate with you through that portal as well.
Okay, thank you. It's very thorough.
Sure. Any other questions? We have some things in the chat. Let me see. Let's see. Sam had to leave. Yeah, there's some links there to help you out.
I have a question real quick. I missed the first half of it. You had mentioned, and I know you have an affiliation with a school here in Columbus, and I caught the last part of where you could take courses. What would those be?
Yeah, that's the Methodist. It's MTSO, Methodist Theological School of Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And they have, it's the Unitarian Universalist House of Study. and we have cross-registration with them. So as an ESR student, you can take those 4 courses that are needed for ordination for UUs through us, or with us, but through them. And some of those 4 classes, there is actually a residential component, which would make it nice for you because you're very close there. So, and they all of those 4 courses are offered in different ways. Like one is kind of like a weekend seminar kind of thing. One is several days during the summer. The others are one's online. But also what's nice about those courses is the reading that is required in all those courses are the reading that's required of your ordination. So, you know, they have a huge reading list, I think, that you have to complete before you can become an ordained UU minister.
Gotcha. Thank you. Oh, I see the thing on here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kristen. She's on top of this. She's really
Round of applause.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Garrett.
Well, one comment, which is the portal and the application process is actually very easy and smooth. So thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah. And then it's not necessarily tied to the admissions process, but for the writing folks, is there through either one of Bethany or Earlham like a faith writing conference, or are you guys part of a faith writing conference that's around, you know, somewhere in the country? Or
Yeah, Ben Brazel would have a list of those. He's been involved with several. There's the Theopoetics through ARC. There's a conference. What is Association of Religion and I'm so bad with those. I'll find that for you though. But there are several that Ben has attended. We also have attended through recruiting. Some of our recruiting sessions, we've attended different ones too. So I'll look for a list of those that I can send to you. But things even like Wild Goose in North Carolina. Oh gosh, I can't even think of all of them now, but there's one up in Chicago that we send people to. So I'll find that for you. And I'll ask Ben also. He has a good take on what's being offered. I'm just so sad that we can't physically go to any of these right now. I miss that.
thank you.
Would you make that available to everyone, and
Sure.
in addition to Garrett?
Sure. Yes, definitely. If Kristen would make note that I need to do that. Thanks.
As far as residential, is that Richmond only, or just the Richmond area, or?
Richmond area, really it can be anywhere that you can drive into Richmond for the day. We've had people that are considered residential students who live up in Michigan. They live 4 or 5 hours away, but they would drive down once a week for their residential class and sometimes stay the night with other students, or they would camp. We have several campgrounds. We do have a guest house, Laura Moore Guest House, that they would just come down, you know, once a week and stay there once a week. So that has worked. We have students who live in Indianapolis that drive in. It's about an hour and 20 minutes. So yeah, just anywhere that you could drive in from. We have a student who I think lives in Columbus right now that would start out as a residential student and then moved over there, but can easily come over here for classes.
Okay, thank you.
And Julie, it's Lance again. Where do you fly into if you choose to fly? Because I'm, you know, all the way on the Atlantic Ocean part of Pennsylvania.
Sure. The easiest place to fly into is Dayton Airport. It's just 40-minute drive. It's a small airport. If you can get good fares to there, that is the easiest place because the next closest would be Indianapolis, and that's about an hour and 20 or maybe even an hour 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's doable too. Sometimes you can get better fares in there. We do have an Uber driver who will pick up people at the airport for us, but we don't have lots of Uber drivers.
Right, okay.
We do have a few. Martha.
What was that second airport you mentioned that's a little farther away?
Indianapolis.
Okay.
Yeah, and then some people do fly into Cincinnati. It's about an hour and a half drive as well, but it's doable. It's just a little harder drive, but Dayton is just a straight shoot. It's so easy and it's so nice and small. I don't like big airports. Oh yeah, Kristen says that she can share a map and the list of things that are near us too, so that we usually share with new students, so you can kind of see what the other things going on. Richmond's a wonderful artistic community. We have a beautiful Richmond Art Museum. We have Civic Theater. We have a symphony. We have lots of live music. Some nice local restaurants, beautiful trails. We have a bike trail that starts in Richmond and goes 67 miles north of here. It's on an old railroad right away. We have Cope Environmental Center, a beautiful arboretum, some nice parks, a newer park downtown where they have food trucks and live music during the summer months, spring, summer, fall. Festivals, several festivals. Lots of things going on. I used to work for the Tourism Bureau, so I have to share all that information.
And like Julie was mentioning, Richmond is so centrally located. You can go to Indy, you can go to Dayton, you can go to Cincinnati for bigger concerts, bigger things if you want to, and it's not that big of a problem.
Yeah, Fort Wayne is just about an hour and a half or 2 hours north of us. Toledo and Cleveland within 3 and 4 hours. Chicago is 4 hours away. A decent drive, not bad at all. The one thing that I missed when I moved here as a teenager was a large body of water. We have some smaller bodies of water, some reservoirs for people who like to kayak, things like that. There's a river that runs through Richmond in a gorge area with things like, fossil hunting, things like that. I'm trying to think what else. And then, of course, just being on the Earlham College campus, too. They have activities going on all the time. Great community to work in.
I hope you noticed, Kristen put up there an invitation to sign up so you get the Luminary, the little newsletter, so you can see what's going on and get a sense of what's happening here at ESR.
And Susie, she had a question too. We'll make sure that we get some stuff sent to Susie. And we can be helpful with housing. We do have the Lorimore Guest House for people when they come for their intensives. And we do have a house for international students. We have another small house that some of our students can live in. Up until recently, housing was readily available, but with the housing crunch right now, I don't know if it's the same where you are, but right now houses get put on the market, and the day later there's already a pending offer on them, and it's kind of crazy right now. But some of our students had found that it was actually cheaper to buy a home in the area than it was to rent a home, and they were buying a nicer home than what they could rent. So several of our students have bought homes in the area, but just recently the housing prices have gone up a bit because of the housing shortage. It's definitely a seller's market. Other questions? I think one of the questions that in our last information session, a student said, so what would, if I asked, why shouldn't I come to ESR? And I think some of the answers would be, if you want a competitive experience and if you want to focus on getting A's, and that's probably this is isn't the place. We're very collaborative. Well, our classes are pass fail. And also, I would say if you're very set in what you know about or how you feel about religion or about theology, and you just want affirmation of what you know, this might not be the place. We want people to feel challenged here and respectfully challenged, their beliefs respectfully challenged. So, and I think that's a good thing. And then also, if you don't want diversity of thought, this is not this isn't the place. Oh yeah, and we call our professors by their first name. We call the college president by her first name. It's just, I don't know if that'll change in the near future or not, but poor Lonnie goes by Lonnie. I mean, he's not Dr. Valentine.
Oh. No, I tell the story of my first day or first week at ESR after finishing the PhD. And we were gathered in a nice Quaker circle before we ate our common meal and went around and introduced yourself. And the way the introduction was say what you would like to be called. And so it came to me, everybody was saying, I'm Jim and I'm from so-and-so. And everybody go, hi, Jim, how you doing? Or Sally from wherever, hi, Sally. So I said, I'd like to be called Dr. Valentine. And absolutely no one said anything. It was like, it was just not acceptable to do that. So, yeah.
Kristen also wanted me to mention that families are very welcome on the ESR campus too. We've had new mothers here with their babies and go to the commuter lounge to nurse their babies, and we've had children here during events. And one of our current students, Brown, some of you might know Brown, he is from Kenya, and his wife and 3 small children are here. So we get the pleasure of seeing these beautiful children on the campus. It's just such a wonderful thing. And then also on the Earlham College campus too. They're very, very family friendly campus. But right now we're really missing our community events. We're really missing the common meal and our in-person worships, other activities that we've had, where it's been kind of hard on all of us not being able to see each other. Well, it's just now 4 o'clock. I don't want to keep you all any longer than you want to be here. So we have a session coming up at 5, is that right, Kristen? 5, the alumni session.
Yeah.
And April Van Lunden, who is an ESR graduate, and she's also our campus registrar, the ESR and Bethany registrar. She'll be leading that. We have 4 on the panel, but there will be others joining us as well. And I think you'll find them very interesting. The last alumni panel was great because there were some of the people on the panel didn't know each other, had never met, but just within introducing themselves, they had all these connections. So I would love to just sit there and listen to them talk about their connections and the place they had traveled and the projects that they worked on. So that's kind of a good preview of what you might see if you attend that. If you have any other questions, please email me. I would love to say hello and talk to you more about programs specifically, or if you're in discernment about which program, or even if you should join, I would love to talk to you more about that. So hopefully I'll see y'all later.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right.